you're in Vegas, you sign up, now suddenly everyone wants to be there. I have to imagine you've met some very like impressive people.
Oh, it's crazy. Yeah. It's fun. It's even fun for me. Like people say, been in show business, whatever you call it. I think I'm in show business.
You're definitely in show business.
I would say I'm close to it if I'm not in it.
You're definitely in it.
You get to meet people. That's probably the coolest thing. You know, you're backstage and you're talking to Sting and you're having the Queen.
Yeah.
That was probably one of the pinch me moments.
Would you ever, like, do you have any rules? Like, if someone like that is in the crowd, do you want to know, or do you just let it?
That's funny you ask. I used to not want to know.
Okay.
And then now I want to know because I don't get as nervous and worked up about it as I used to.
Right.
So I would say we had, when Sting came and Shania Twain was in the thing, I said they told me, I said thank you because I wanted to kind of know because I might have a bit.
Yeah.
So usually if someone comes, they're in the show regardless, until they know it, and they usually are happy with it. But Shania Twain was there, and I did this bit before I'd ever met her, and it's all these songs she sings, and I said every song's like a cheerleader, and you play. There's like 5 or 6 songs you play it, dun 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 dun, dun let's go girls, and then the next song is, and it's all right, let's go. So it's so funny in the show. So I said I'm just gonna. My crew's like, what are you gonna do with the Shania thing? 'Cause she's there. I'm like, fucking doing it. What do you mean? What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
That's why we do this.
Yeah.
So she's sitting right there, and I do it all. And the first line out is Shania Twain. If I'd hit that again, and so I get this like kind of weird laugh in the crowd, and then her husband's kind of like after the show that she comes back and she's like, "You'd hit that again?" And I said, "Yeah, you'd hit it again." I said, "Yeah," and Fred's like, "You can hit it again." I said, "Yeah." So we became
That's that big
friends because because I made fun of her at the show, and she just, I didn't call her out either. I didn't tell her anybody she was there. I just did the bit, not told her because she goes, "You could have said it." I said, "No, I wanted to let you enjoy your night." Yeah. But everything that comes, we had Tony Orlando last night.
Wow.
And he does the tie yellow ribbon around the old.
Yeah.
So, the whole, when I go into the audience to do a little crowd work, I go through and I'm like, what the fuck, Tony Orlando's here. And, play the song and we have a little piece of yellow ribbon and I fuck with the, I fuck with the crowd. And so it becomes part of the whole show.
So you embrace it now.
Queen was probably the coolest though, because Queen came back there and they were just like, fuck, it's Queen, right?
Yeah.
I was a little I was not gonna lie, I was a little nervous, and I have some Queen in my shows, a lot of Queen songs. There's even a clip of when Freddie says "fuck you" to the crowd. I do this whole show, and then afterwards, they come back, and I'm like, oh my God, Queen's in my dressing room, and the drummer Roger says, Scott, that was just, God damn, that was funny, right? I said, oh, thanks. He says, no, that was real. How do you fucking do that? This is crazy. And Brian May's standing there, and he's like, they both just are like in awe, right? And it was very sweet of them. They were just like, they wouldn't stop talking. And Brian is really, he knew like every little, he said, and the part that you did with the thing, and the video came in, how did you do that? And I'm like, wow. And they go to leave, and he says, I hate to do this to you, but is it okay if I come back tomorrow?
Wow.
And I said, to my show? I said, what? You don't have to come back to my show tomorrow. He goes, no, my son is flying in tonight, and if it's okay, I want to bring him back. I want to bring him tomorrow. And I thought, absolutely. Yeah. But I mean, are you sure you want to do that? Yeah. And he said to my assistant on the way out, he says, we'll get y'all hooked up. And I overheard him say, I got to come back and make sure this wasn't this was for real.
Wow.
He didn't believe it. The show was so good and so tight. He's like, let me see this again.
Wow.
And then he told me the next day, he says, yeah, I actually wanted to see it because I didn't believe it.
Wow.
And I was like, really? He goes, yeah, it was too good. So I'm like, okay. And then he came back and said, it's fucking bloody amazing.
Yeah.
But he, one little, I added one like Trump thing, one thing like, and just, he knew exactly. Though the Trump thing was new.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Just to.
How do you do that?
Yeah.
Here's how I always tell people here's how to do Trump. Yeah. You just got to lean up like that, right? Okay. Just be mad.
Okay.
Right? Just mad and both things. Just scowl. Now you hate me, right?
Yeah.
And then just say anything is like, they don't have carpet. No one had carpeting. I made carpeting. Like, you didn't make carpet. There was never carpet. There was never chairs before I was president. I was the only president with tables. No one had tables. If you remember, they did. There was no tables. There was no glasses. And you're like, no, there was fun. No one sat. No one sat. I did it all. You're not the first one. Yeah, I'm the first one. I am the greatest ever. You seen Carrot Top's dick? It's better than that.
Did he always talk like this? Because I feel
I know it seems like he became more of a caricature.
Yeah. Like I feel
it
like,
kind of started a caricature more. Like he
yeah.
never started out that way.
Yeah.
I think you're right. It just started rolling, leaving his sentences longer. Like there's sort of things,
I think
I did. And,
he honed in on his performance. He saw what people were.
Yeah,
into.
and he kind of made caricature of himself. Probably. I think probably we all. I don't go back and look at my clips and me doing. I've evolved. Well, hopefully evolved. Not gone backwards, but changed. I mean, God, it's like listening to fingernails on a chalkboard, listening to myself and like everybody in on Arsenio Hall show. I'm like, here's a cup with a thing on it.
I think it's I think the coolest thing that I guess that I hear just in this 40 minutes we've talked so far is it doesn't seem like at any level of career like anyone ever feels like I'm set, as in sort of like you always still have that part of your brain that's like, is this good? Do people like this?
Oh, I think that's probably the kiss of death for every artist, I think.
Yeah.
Because you never, what the next, you can't live off the last thing you did is it's like the shows. It's like, the other night we called it a road show. So what that means is, road shows are usually really rowdy and loud and fun, and you're like a rock star.
Yeah.
And Vegas shows can be, but you could also be, they could just be a show.
Well, there's a lot of tourists.
Right. But there's been some amazing shows. There's been amazing shows that we've had. But the other night we had 2 or 3 in a row that were we come out, I said, I even said it before the show, I said, we need a road show.
Yeah.
And we came off, and first thing everybody says was, dude, road show. And I said, and you can't predict how and why it just happens. The crowd was just great. Yeah. Electric, and which makes you dance more. It's weird. Like there's a dance that you get up there with when they're good and you're good. It's it's like, it's golden.
Yeah.
Every comic knows that. And in any profession, actually, you're selling cars and you get on the roll and you're selling cars. And I was like, God dang, I'm selling 10 cars today because I just had a rhythm.
Yeah.
So it was really just in comedy, but when you get those moments, and then that's when you start thinking, nah, damn, I think I finally got this. I'm really good.
I feel like that dance is what escapes people when they watch stand-up. And I feel that, because I'll talk to people or I'll see people say online like, I don't like stand-up, or I don't get it, or I think stand-up's kind of this. And I think people, especially young people now, they kind of see stand-up in a weird way where it's just like, little clips of crowd work, and they go, oh, why do people like this? And I feel like
people, they don't know. And people tell me that, by the way, all the time. And I'm a comic.
Yeah.
They say, I hate stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
I always find that funny.
But then,
and I'm like, oh, geez, you don't like? I hate what you do. I'm like, oh, like what? Me personally, or just no, just comedy in general. It's just, I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah. Well, definitely don't come to my show.
Yeah.
But people all the time I don't like, they'll be just brutally honest. No one comes up to you and says they don't like me. But what they'll say is, I never liked you, but now I love you, like kind of thing.